Yo, 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 what is going on? How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another DLE Fitness live stream show. Man, today is going to be a late evening show, as you can already tell, and I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I had to get me some tea with some honey, and I got my Carnival cup. You know how Carnival's been tripping lately, but let me take a quick sip. Yes, sir. My throat is not feeling too shabby. I'm feeling a little bit woozy, but hey, we gonna make it. We gonna make it. We gonna make it. We gotta make it happen, man. It's been a few days since we did a stream last, and we didn't get to do it yesterday. So today we're gonna get it in, even though it's gonna be a later stream. Let me make sure my camera's right. Let's fix it. Oh, don't mess that up now. Let's tip that down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, yeah, that's better. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We got a good show lined up for you today. If you see on the thumbnail, man, we have our 3 topics for today. But just to let you know, first off, we are simultaneously streaming on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. Yes, sir. And we are also... I forget what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought, but if you want to contribute to today's show, right there, there's a Cash App, Daniel2888, Venmo, Danny-Daniel-00. We are going to get straight into the show today. We got our 3 topics: fitness, we got the economy, and we have AI fitness. We're going to look at Coach Greg Doucette, who's going to talk about Drake in this one, which is going to be a funny one to kind of go over, because I've actually never seen him actually talk trash about Drake, but I'm pretty sure I know what he's going to talk about, because if you don't know, old Aubrey got some ab implants. Bruh. Tripping. Straight got ab implants. So pretty sure Greg Doucette finna go in on that. We gonna have fun watching that one. Then next we're gonna go into the economy portion of the show. If you haven't been paying attention to the economy over the weekend, the 4th of July weekend, bro, there's been so much stuff going on lately. I mean, you had what was it? Mexico was kicking out the gringos on their side of town. So they was doing that and destroying businesses over there because they was like, hey, if y'all gonna do us dirty, we gonna do you dirty. So that's how that goes. And then you had, what was the floods here in Texas, man. We had some floods going on in Texas, been really bad. We're gonna actually go over that and see how that's looking. So a lot of badness been going on with that, man. And the weather report hasn't been too good as far as like knowing that this was coming. It was a heck of a lot worse than what people saw coming. But now that they have been trying to see how much damage has been done, unfortunately the death tolls have been creeping up and up and up. So that's not been good. Then you had the Haitians put the skibbity pops on the ice and put them hands on the ice people. They've been trying to scrub that off the internet so you can't see the Haitians put a whooping on ice. Bruh. I don't know why they're trying to take it off, but it seems like ever since then, there's like been a spark that's been lifted around the country. And then we're also going to look into Trump, who potentially might be sending troops into Philly. Bruh. That's going to be crazy. So if they send troops into Philly, bro, that's going to be something bad. I don't know what to tell you. If they send troops into Philly, that's going to be crazy, because if they got them there, they going to send them probably everywhere else, because it seems like a lot of places is going crazy. Everybody's tripping. Everybody's having, conflicting issues going on. So it's a lot going on, a lot happening at one time. We're going to sit down and cover all of it. And then we're going to look at people who are creating AIs and are making millions off of the AIs that they create when we get to the AI segment of the show. So they're not even there. They ain't even there anymore. They're creating AI characters, and the AI characters are making millions as they, create content. So we're going to see how that goes, and we're going to take a look at all of that and what's going on. So today we got a good one. We're going to see how far I can get. Throat is killing me. It's not feeling too great. Feel a little under the weather and all this good stuff, but we still have to get this thing going. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the first portion of the show, of course. So let's go ahead and hop on over. Let me get the banner. We got to get the banner right on this over here. There we go. We got the banner. Before we start, I want to make sure that I refresh the screen, because a lot of the times we get the video started, YouTube hit us with an ad. So I'm going to get that out the way. So first, we're going to start with fitness. We're going to check out Greg Doucette. Going to be probably clowning Drake. Bro got abs. I don't know what's wrong with him. Why would you get ab implants? I mean, but then again, it's Mr. Degrassi himself, so we gonna see how this works out. But with that being said, man, hopefully everybody's having a good day so far. Had a good week. Hopefully your rent got paid. Hopefully you had a good 4th of July weekend. And I wish I had Mr. Chow, but I accidentally deleted. I can't even see him on my thing anymore. Mr. Chow is gone. I gotta find Mr. Chow. We don't have him anymore. I don't even think we got our girls on here from. Dang, I deleted them too. The girls from the movie. Oh man, I gotta find a way to get all them back. So we gonna get them back. We got a few soundboards or sound bites that are missing, but we gonna have to go back and get all those things back. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get to the fitness portion of the show and to get straight into it. So we're going to pull them up on the screen right now, Mr. Greg Doucette. But before we do, let's go ahead and do our fitness intro because I did fix that. So let's get that popping.
Let's get ready for the fitness segment of the show.
Oh, yeah, that was looking pretty nice. I don't know who that was, but she was looking pretty decent. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. We got Coach Greg Doucette on the screen. Fair use. He says Drake is fake. Well, let's see how this pans out. Here we go.
Hey guys, Snap. I just got a BBL tummy tuck mommy makeover, and now you can see my abdominals. Coach Greg, and in today's video, Drake thinks we're all morons. He thinks that we're idiots. He shows a photo of himself with the glaring six-pack. He looks like an old He-Man or perhaps a G.I. Joe figurine. And get this, I'm going to read what he says. I'm wide awake for the nights that separate the type of guy to get it till they get it right from the type who just type. And so basically, is bro just trying to brag? Is this a flex? He's flexing his abs saying, hey, I put in the work. I'm not the type of guy that just types about shit. I go and get it done. And so if by getting it done, he's referring to surgeries where you suck out the fat between the abdominals, essentially a BBL for your abs, then yeah, you're the type who gets it done. But if you're trying to make it look like you put in the work, that you dieted, that you trained, you did your cardio, you did your crunches, we don't believe you. And so you're thinking, well, where's the proof? Okay, well, let's examine the abs.
When you go to the gym, your whole body goes to the gym, dude, not just your abs.
And so if you only...
He didn't say that. Tell me he didn't just say that.
only look at his abdominals, the six-pack, you're thinking, well, that actually looks kind of legit. It seems possible. The problem is, when you have abs that defined, the rest of your body also has some kind of definition. Drake, who for the most part appears to have 20 to 25% body fat, would not be appears to have 20 to 20.
If this is... well, why do you... Oh, it doesn't matter how many tattoos he get, how much beard he get, how many abs he get. Why they get this zesty pose of this man in this photo? Why they got the zesty one up there? They doing Drake wrong. Come on, don't do the man like that. I enjoy Drake music. Why they put the zesty photo up there?
5% body fat would not be possible. Well, perhaps 1 in a million, that he would have abdominals looking like that, but would not have striations in the delts, perhaps a bicep vein, some chest striations. Very unlikely that he did it while being natural. But let's really hone in on his obliques. Does anyone notice that there's a hole on the side of his obliques? Why is there a hole? Your obliques are right here to the side. Why is there something missing? A gap. Kind of like you have a gap in your teeth and there's a hole and it's like, why is there no white right there? Why is there a glaring hole? And so if you look at the old G.I. Joe figurines, He-Man and so on, it kind of looks like that. Let's see a photo of Drake in the past. Now, look at his abdominals. You don't suddenly target the fat loss from your abs. He has not lost a significant amount of body fat from that period of time until now. And so why is he so much leaner in the abdominals, but not as lean everywhere else? I mean, does he not look like a Hulk Hogan figurine? I mean, look at this guy. It's just simply too fake. We have Rick Ross calling him out saying, bro, is this the second time you're going through this operation? You had fake abs last year. And so the only person that seems to be defending him is Nick Trilogy from Bodybuilding and BS. He's saying,
Rick Ross is wrong for this. How are you gonna say this man body looked like a actual Rick Ross is the last one to talk about somebody, but at the same time, that's pretty funny. His abs look like rolls.
going through this operation, you had fake abs last year. And so the only person that seems to be defending him is Nick Trilogy from Bodybuilding and BS. He's saying, hey, he's proud of his abs and I don't care where he got them. He should be showing them off.
He looks awesome.
But here's the thing. The reason we respect abs as men is because we know how hard it is to get them. We know the amount of work that you put in. It's one thing to use Ozempic or a GLP, retatrutide, and so on, and it's another thing to simply suck out the fat. If you're taking a peptide to make you reduce your appetite, you're still perhaps putting in the work, you're doing your cardio, you're lifting weights, and so on, and the entirety of your physique, it's going to look better. To me, using a GLP like Ozempic and so on, it's not much different than someone who decides to use steroids, SARMs, peptides, IGF, MK.
Question. I wonder, having abs like that, I wonder, I mean, I'm going to say pause before I even say it. Do they feel like abs or do they feel like silicone, or, you know, do they feel like a BBL on your stomach? I'm just curious. Is that what they feel like? I'm just curious. If it does, it's kind of weird.
Okay, all of that stuff. You're using something foreign to the body to help you to reach your goals. And so whether you decide to do that or not, well, if it's legal, it's on you. But you're not going to get the same level of respect from other men if they know you got your physique through cosmetic enhancements. Even Phil Heath said, look, I'll train you. This is not how you do it. If you just get surgery to improve your abdominals, but you don't improve the rest of your body, it doesn't look good.
If he hit me up and was like, hey, what's it going to take to meet up here and there and go over everything?
Imagine being able to...
Oh, they did me dirty. They caught me slipping again. Yeah, that is kind of bad, though. You can't... he has all the money in the world. Why can't he just develop... I mean, I understand everybody's body is different, but I just feel like his diet plan, he could dial into it to a point where he could get the physique that he wants, or just take steroids. I mean, at that point, me personally, I would just take steroids instead of putting plastic in my body. You know what I mean? I mean, at least over time, you can get the steroids out your system, but to put silicone, plastic, or whatever it is, like, why would you go that route? I personally don't get it, but to each his own. Bruh. He's tripping. That's just me. But anyway, let's get back into it. Here we go. Oh, wait. There we go.
It's about looking aesthetic. It's about balance, symmetry, harmony between body parts. If you have amazing abs and everything else looks like garbage, well, it doesn't look all that good. How is this any different than the females who are getting the BBLs? The world has been calling out Drake saying, this looks bad. This is embarrassing.
That's literally what I just said. I was curious if his abs feel like ass. Oh my gosh. Drake abs feel like your abs feel like ass.
Who are getting the BBLs. The world has been calling out Drake saying, this looks bad. This is embarrassing. You don't have the self-awareness to understand that you're a joke. This is embarrassing. To the same extent, it's very comparable to females who get those massive BBLs. They have huge booties, but they have stig legs to go along with it. And so it doesn't look right. It looks fake. Add to that the fake lips, looks like they have a pair of hot dogs on their faces. And people just don't like that. And so women are thinking, no, but men, they like a big booty. Yeah, they do, not denying it. But not when it's fake like that. And so if you get that ass from an implant or a BBL, it's not going to have the same impact as if you got it through hard work.
Everyone pointing the finger at Drake for supposedly getting this ab incisioning procedure done. And guess what? Who gives a
Turk?
His abs phenomenal now.
Who gives a Turk? Everyone that I know. I haven't spoken to anyone, and trust me, everyone wants me to do this video. I haven't spoken to a single person that respects the abs he's got. He looks better before. To me, standing by the beach with...
If you look at him right there, that he had potential to actually, you know, do it the right way, or, you know, didn't have to put silicone or plastic inside of himself, which is just when you say it out loud, it sounds weird. Bruh. You put silicone or plastic inside your body. I mean, and there's rappers out there, they got BBL, so I mean, at least he ain't go the BBL route, or maybe I think he did get a BBL. I think he had a BBL and fake abs. I think he has both. Bruh. I don't know. It's weird, but I feel like he had potential to actually, you know, get on a good diet and put the work in. Get some steroids if you feel like you wasn't getting the desired results that you want, and just did it that way. But I mean, he just probably ain't got it in him. He just not built like that. He's not that kind of dude that, you know, can do it. It is what it is. Teach his own, whatever.
With those abdominals looking realistic, and he's actually, in my opinion, actually looking at it right now, I think he was leaner back then than he is now. And so you can't just let yourself go and get abdominal etching, implants, whatever, and think that you're going to look better. You look worse.
His abs look phenomenal now. Hence, that's why he was confident enough to post the selfie.
And so was he confident enough to post the six-pack, or too delusional to understand that he's going to get a lot of hate? Sometimes people are either narcissistic or just morons, and they don't realize that what they're going to do if they post that and talk about it is actually get hate. And perhaps he wants the hate. And so perhaps he's just so high up. I don't care. I'm going to show my abdominals knowing everyone's going to make fun of me. And because I'm Drake, I don't care. And if that's the case, well, good for him. He doesn't get impacted by the opinions of sheep because, well, he's a wolf. Well, if that's the case, bravo. But I'm going to suggest to the rest of you that you don't copy this, that if you think that you can just get these surgeries and get the abs of your dreams, it's going to end up being a nightmare. Why not just put in the work? I mean, if you really want those abdominals, and hey, maybe it's too hard. Maybe watching Coach Greg videos and getting my cookbook, it's just, you understand that. But if it's going to help you reduce your appetite and get you to go to the gym, train hard, stick to your diet, then, well, I'm all for it. One thing I don't like is when you...
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Post a photo of the six-pack. He clearly wants you to focus on the abs. He's covering his face. What is up with men that cover their faces? It's bad enough when women do this. Guys, I gotta level with you. When you show a selfie with the phone covering your face, this is pathetic. I don't know why you would do this. And so that's the first thing I noticed. The second thing is, why are we bragging about all this alcohol? Is he saying, hey, guys, look, I drink poison all the time. And you realize that alcohol is a poison, right? I mean, it's a class 1 carcinogenic. And so if you drink alcohol, it's like drinking poison. It can cause cancer. And so if you want that, well, that's fine. It's on you. You have a right to smoke cigarettes and to drink alcohol and so on. But is he bragging? Look at all the alcohol that I'm drinking. Hey, this is my life. And yet I still have abdominals.
I don't know if that was supposed to be whoops, let me get this up. I don't know if that's he was trying to flex his abs and sell some liquor at the same time. I mean, if he was trying to thirst trap with, I don't know. I mean, maybe it was like a promotion or like a sponsorship to where he was promoting the liquor and showing his abs at the same time. So since the liquor is in the picture and he did a picture of his fake abs, then people are going to look at this picture and also see the liquor. So you're getting a lot of promotion for the liquor, though he's showing his fake abs. You know what I mean? So if that was the case, I mean, I would say this is a good idea because it worked, because you see the liquor every time you see the photo, but then again, everybody kind of looks at the ad portion of the photo. You don't really see the bottles of liquor in there. I don't know. I mean, if that's what he did, maybe it was a good move. Maybe it worked. I don't know. Well, whatever. Like, exactly. Like, his face says the same thing I'm thinking. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But whatever. Let's continue. We're almost done with this one.
Is that really the message that we're going for? In comparison, if he were in the gym and said, look, and he showed a photo of his abs and said, I've locked in for the last 3 months, maybe he's on Ozempic, perhaps he's on GLP, or perhaps he's on Turk Builder Max. Which person would you have more respect for? He's showing his body, he's saying, look, I'm putting in the work, and guys, impact. I'm certainly thinking that most people would rather see you work out and show off the hard work because of your hard work. That's why you have abs, than saying, hey, this is a result of surgeries. And notice, he doesn't say he got surgery. I mean, if he says, I had a BBL, I got a tummy tuck, a mommy makeover, whatever you want to call this ab etching thing, whatever you want to call that, he admits that he got it and he posts it. Then I got to say, well, at least he's being honest, 100% honest, open, and transparent. And so you'd have to at least respect him for that. But I don't see him mentioning this here. I see him bragging about the abdominals, which look moronic, which look stupid. And I don't see him admitting how he got it. Would this not be equivalent to somebody who doesn't go to the gym, injects himself with a bunch of synthol, hyaluronic acid, has all the fake body parts, you know what I mean, the oil body parts, and says, look at me. Where is the brag? How is that a flex? Drake mercilessly roasted for fake six-pack abs, arms, and chest sold separately. Exactly. I mean, the abs, they're not bad. The six-pack itself, the obliques look so fake, however. But where's the chest and where are the arms? It's the total package. And so when I first saw this photo, I'm not going to lie, I thought, oh, this is just some AI Photoshop bullshit. This is not a real photo. This is not actually Drake's abdominals. I didn't think that Drake would actually post this. I was sent the photo. I thought, yeah, this is a scam. You type in, do some AI thing. There's perhaps a third eye or there's 3 belly buttons in the mix. But in 2025, you can do these AI Photoshops, 3 belly buttons.
I mean, it do look like he got 2 belly buttons. It like he got, well, actually, he like he got 3. He got 1, 2, 3 belly buttons. It do look like he got 3 belly buttons. And even though the 2 nipples are normal, but the 3 belly buttons just made it just it got 3 belly buttons. He got 3 belly buttons in a stomach that feel like a woman's ass.
Buttons in the mix. But in 2025, you can do these AI Photoshops and you're actually going to believe it. And so to find out that he thinks this actually looks good and that it's not AI, well, it's got to have been achieved through the knife AK from surgery. If you don't want to go through surgery, perhaps it costs $40,000. I don't know. It's very expensive. You can get HTLT supplements as well as my cookbook. You can get Blue Lobstered and go to the gym, have an amazing workout. And if you get that and you have lower levels of testosterone, you're crash dieting and so on, we have G-Test Max as well as G-Test Platinum. And we have a host of other supplements. And so head over to the website, code Greg 15%.
Okay. He out here trying to get promotion on the show. We can't give you all that promotion, but shout out to Coach Greg on that video. We got to see exactly what's going on with the ab situation. Shout out to Coach Greg. Yes, give him a round of applause. Yeah, I don't know, man. Drake, you got too much money to be out here getting implants on your body and putting plastic in your body, but I get it. Get to the point where you're so rich, it's just about the aesthetics, and I guess the more attention that you get, what they say, there's no such thing as bad publicity or whatever. So at the end of the day, you're being relevant, you're being talked about, you're being put out there in the spotlight. So I guess it all works in your favor. So I guess it's, that was the plan. If that was the plan, it's working. So again, shout out to Coach Greg, shout out to Drake for the fake abs, and to each his own. Some people like to take one route and some people like to take another. It doesn't change the fact that, he has more money than all of us combined. So, it is what it is. And I'm kind of curious. He probably made a lot of money on the back end with this, because the more you talk about him, the more views, the more clicks that he gets, and watch time, and all this stuff happens all simultaneously at once. So he probably made a killing just posting that picture right there. So hate or talk trash all you want, he's laughing all the way to the bank. So shout out to him. Round of applause to him. But in a real sense, man, don't go out there getting fake abs. Not fake abs. Just don't get fake anything. Just if you're gonna get fake abs, just take steroids at that point. At that point, just go ahead and go on the juice and just get all, like Aki and, what I mean, just get big and buff at that point. In my opinion, just go get swole. Don't put no plastic or silicone in your body. I think it will work out better. Plus, when you take the steroids, you actually do got to put the work in. With the silicone or whatever, it's just for an aesthetic. It's just for looks. I mean, so is the steroids, but at least you have to put the work in to achieve the result, as opposed to just sticking something in and then just being like, look. So I don't know. It is what it is. Teach his own. But anyway, we're gonna move on from that and move on over to the next next tab that we have. And the next tab we have the muscle of the day. So we're going to go over the muscle of the day today, which we're going to pull that up right now. There we go. All right. So the muscle of the day, we're going to do the neck muscles for today. We're going to go ahead and look into this. I'm going to have to I'm going to play this. And while this is playing, I'm going to go ahead and read off to you the neck muscles for today. And I was going to have my chat GPT read it out loud, but clearly I haven't set that part up yet, but we're going to get that part going. But where is it? I can't find it. I just had it and it went away. Oh boy, where did it go? There it is. All right, we got it. So yeah, man, my throat is killing me. Main categories of neck muscles. So here we go. We have the breakdown of the neck muscles. The neck muscles can be grouped into four different categories. So we got the superficial, which is the surface muscles. We have the deep muscles, which is anterior and posterior. We got lateral neck muscles, and we have the occipital muscles at the base of the skull. So then we're gonna look at the superficial neck muscles first, and that's gonna be your sternocleidomastoid mastoid, SCM, which rotates the head to the opposite side and then flexes neck. And then you have the trapezius, which is the upper fibers, which elevates the shoulders and extends the neck. And then you have the platysma, and it tenses the skin of the neck and for your facial expressions. It's like a thin sheet-like muscle visible under the skin. Deep anterior neck muscle is going to be front and under the surface. These are going to be the longest capitis and longest colli, which flex the neck and stabilizes cervical spine. Then you have the scalene muscles, which is the anterior, middle, and posterior, elevate the rib lateral flexion of the neck. And then we have the infraroid muscles, which depress the high bone during swallowing and speaking. Oh, easy there, Jesus Christ, during swallowing and speaking. Hold on, what do we got to say about that? Let's see here. Then next we have, where is it? Where'd it go? We have the levator scapula. It elevates the scapula and it helps extend the lateral flex neck. It helps extend and laterally flex the neck. Then at the scalene, same as the above, involved in the neck flexion and breathing. And then we have the muscle group, which is going to be the rectus capti and the obliquus captus, which is a fine motor control of head movement. So those are going to be all of the neck muscles. And you only just saw the back of it in this video right here that had visual, but you get the all around 360 from the explanation I just gave you. And that's going to be it for the muscle of the day. I couldn't find too many videos that had the muscle or the neck muscles. It doesn't seem like people go into much detail. I was trying to make a little AI video on my own of one, but didn't work out that way. But, it is what it is. We still got it. So that right there is going to be our muscle of the day. There it is. Whew. All right. And that right there is going to conclude it for the fitness portion of the show. We're going to go ahead and slide on over next to the economy because we have a few things that we got to talk about in the economy. But make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you take care of your health. Make sure, you stay physically fit at all times. Eat a healthy diet. Do the work. Go to the gym. Work out. Jog. Walk. Get some sunlight. Sweat it out. Hit a sauna. If you don't lift heavy weights, lift light weights until it gets heavy. So lightweight, high rep. Just make sure that you take care of yourself. Make sure you're taking your vitamins, your minerals if you don't like to eat vegetables, and just keep up with yourself. Health is wealth. Yes, health is wealth. And then if you got too much wealth and no health, then you'll be just like Drake. You know what I mean? Going out here getting BBLs and fake abs. So be careful with that. Because, yeah, who knows? One day the silicone might bust inside of you. I mean, women get breast implants all the time, and we hear about those horror stories. I've never heard of ab implants busting, but I feel like the world we live in, we're going to hear about that in the future. BBLs busting, ugh, that's got to suck. And you got to, you know what I mean? Imagine going to the hospital with a busted BBL. Imagine going to the hospital with a busted ab. And as a man, not even as a man, as anybody, if your abs bust and that stuff goes like down, does it like, you know what I mean? Does the stuff ooze down? Because, you know, right below your abs is your junk. You don't want nothing getting in there. You know what I mean? It's not going to be good. Bruh. So, you know, a busted ab and maybe some solution or something go down your abs and into your junk. Then what happens then? Bruh. Now you got to get a new kind of surgery or some kind of extra removal to get that stuff off. Man, Bruh. Yeah. I mean, you're probably going to be at the hospital like this. So just be careful out there, folks. Be careful. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the economy portion of the show. I'm going to go ahead and move it on over to, let me switch that banner out real quick. Where's the banner? I just had it. Where's the banner? There we go. Switch the banner out. Oh man, I switched out something else too, didn't I? I did. Oh, whoops. What did I switch out? Oh well. Fix it later. Don't have time for it right now. Like I said, my throat is killing me. But we're going to get to the economy portion of the show. We're going to jump right in and we're going to check out these Texas floods and see how these Texas floods are looking. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it and go check this out. So fair use to News 4. Fair use to News 4. We're going to look at these Texas floods that's been going on and that's been happening. And we're going to see exactly how bad things have been because the death toll has crept over 100 people. So we're going to see how bad this really is. So let's go ahead and dive into this and let's let this video roll. So here we go.
Just in the Kerr County area alone, there are 161 people who are known to be missing.
Staggering numbers tonight on the Hill Country flooding disaster. Governor Greg Abbott ended a press conference with the latest updates about a half hour ago. We're bringing you what we know, what we've learned, and the push for accountability now at 5.
News 4 San Antonio at 5. We're here for you.
And thank you for joining us now to the latest updates on the tragedy.
Yeah, we do want to get you caught up on the very latest numbers. As it's just a couple of moments ago, 109 people are dead in floods across Texas, 94 dead in Kerr County alone, 15 in other parts of the area. Governor Abbott says just in Kendall County alone, the deaths so far have surpassed the death toll from Hurricane Harvey. 5 Camp Mystic campers and 1 counselor still unaccounted for, along with another child not associated with the camp. And as you heard there at the top of the show, just in Kerr County, there are 161 known people who are still missing.
Officials are asking anyone who needs to report a neighbor, a friend, a loved one, someone you know missing, if you think they are, then call this number, 830-258-1111.
And we do have team coverage for you tonight. Let's go and start with News 4 San Antonio's Ethan Trejo, who was at the governor's press conference. Ethan?
People come to us and their teeth are so bad that they all...
Good Lord, those teeth are horrible. All right, so yeah, so we're going and taking a look at that and seeing exactly what's going on. But yeah, so the death toll, I remember over the weekend when I first looked at it, the death toll was like, it was in the 20s when it first happened. It was like 20s. And from... When was 4th of July? It was Friday or Saturday? Whatever day it was. July 4th was like Friday or Saturday. But this happened over the weekend. And over the weekend, I remember it was 20 and it just kept creeping up. Just 20, 30, 40, 50. Now we're all the way over 100, which is ridiculous. And there was a weatherman who spoke on one of the reasons why this is happening, because he spoke on the thing that they used. I think it's called NOAA, that they use to be able to track and be able to see how bad these storms will get in the future, or before they get to people, you'll be able to see how bad the storm is. So you can give the people a heads up to be able to evacuate or prepare for what's coming. But since then, the defunding of NOAA, and they shut a bunch of that stuff down, so now they're not able to see that anymore. So when this storm hit, it was already, you know, on top of everybody, and it was already raining and pouring, and the weatherman who gave the weather report didn't know the severity because of the technology they're not able to use anymore that would let them know how bad it would be, and to be able to give people a heads up on what to expect and what's to come. So in the future, we may be seeing a bunch of these happen. So just kind of be ready for that in the near future and what's going on, because they won't be able to give us, you know, any foresight of what's to come as far as weather goes because of the defunding or the no longer use of said technology.
Hey guys, sorry, I am currently moving inside a bus. As you can see, we just got out of the governor's press conference. We are moving back to location right now at this current moment. I can tell you a little bit about what the governor did say. He currently said that with our numbers standing right now, we have 109 total deaths across the state, with 161 people still missing.
Real quick, we're gonna throw your tripod downstairs in the carriage.
Copy that. Thank you. He said that he reported the disaster over the holiday weekend that now has more fatalities in Kendall and Kerr County than Hurricane Harvey. The governor said that multiple agencies are continuing their efforts in recovery and providing closure to Texas families, echoing the theme that those efforts will not stop until every last person is found.
Nothing is as heart-wrenching as hearing the stories of what the girls around here, especially the girls at Camp Mystic. The hearts of our fellow Texans are breaking every single day because of what people of this community and the surrounding area are going through. We will not stop until every missing person is accounted for. Texas is in this with the people in the Hill Country right here. We are not leaving until this job is finished.
All right, well, that's probably all we're going to look at that for right now. As we can see, the death toll is at 100, over 100, and they're saying there's 161 still missing. So that's very unfortunate. But shout out to the governor, Greg Abbott, for being down there on the ground and actually doing something about it, making a change and trying to actually, you know, do something for the people that are missing and actually trying to bring closure to those who are actually, missing loved ones and stuff like that. So shout out to the governor for doing his thing and trying to, stand tall and make light of a bad situation and help those that are in need. So round of applause to the governor, but it's a very unfortunate situation for the people that's going on over there. And that's out in Kerrville, Texas, I believe, which is right outside of San Antonio. And they also had another flood over out in like the Georgetown, Liberty Hill area, which I don't know how bad or severe it was, but I don't think it was as bad as Kerrville, but that one was as bad too, and that one requires some attention as well. So just shout out to all the people that's been going through everything that they've been going through and losing everything and stuff like that. It's a very, very unfortunate situation. But with that being said, we're going to move over to the next video we have for this segment, which is going to be Trump sends deportation army to Philadelphia as migrants riot. So we're going to take a look at this video, but before we do, let me make sure I refresh the ad. But I think there was a situation that happened with the Haitians in New York who actually beat up some ICE members or ICE patrol people who try to put their hands on them and grab them and apprehend them. But instead of that happening, they went ahead and put the paws on them. Bruh. So I think that little spark, that little flame that the Haitians put out into the atmosphere is now starting to reverberate all around. I think Philly got some of that too, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but we're going to take a look at this video, and this is from Cash Jordan. He has a video speaking on this situation, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at it and see exactly what is happening as far as the deportation army being sent to Philadelphia, and see what the riot is looking like in Philly. So here we go. Fair use.
Anti-ICE protests spread from city to city. ICE is preparing to deploy its special response teams to multiple Democrat-run cities, including Philadelphia.
So the president is sending teams of tactical agents to illegal immigration hotspots across the country. And one of those which has gone under the radar is the sanctuary city of Philadelphia. And while the entire state of Pennsylvania voted for a secure border in the 2024 presidential election, as you're about to see, Philadelphia did the exact opposite, which is why ICE is now on the way.
You can see things got very tense between Philadelphia police officers that were on scene and these demonstrators that were protesting against some of the actions that ICE have been doing around the country, marching and protesting in solidarity with the protests that are happening in California and Los Angeles.
Police say crowds marched to the Federal Detention Center in Center City became disorderly, blocking traffic right there in major roadways. Police say 15 people were arrested.
I think there's a lot of anger and a lot of frustration in society, and I think sooner or later people are going to fight back.
Everyone is terrified. No one wants to go outside.
I've said for 2 months, sanctuary cities, how we deal with them, we flood the zone. Send many more officers in the community to find the bad guy. If we can't find them in the community, they're going to flood the zone on work sites. So sanctuary cities going to get exactly what they don't want.
I want to give you a look there. At the moment, police took several protesters into.
So he said, if they're not out in the cities, we're gonna go front zone into the work sites. So basically, they're literally hunting immigrants. If they can't find them, they're gonna literally hunt immigrants down. That is wild.
Custody, including one who was charged with aggravated assault on an officer. Police say some of them ignored orders to disperse, blocked traffic, and endangered public safety.
So these tactical units have the open borders crowd totally furious because they see these as some sort of military occupation. But what none of these people will admit is that ICE wouldn't be sending armored vehicles and troops to cities like Philadelphia if there weren't a good reason for it. And with aggressive protesters rising up here, just as they have in Los Angeles and in New York, local...
Yeah, and to make matters worse, there was also a really bad shootout that happened in Philadelphia over the weekend. I can't show that one, but that one was really bad. I think like, what was it, like 5 or 8 people got shot, 4 died. It was bad, and like you can see on somebody's doorbell camera footage, somebody is like 2 guys, they're like unloading the clip on whoever they're aiming at. You could hear shots being returned. It was like, you would have thought somebody like let off a whole pack of like, what is it called, black cats, you know, little fireworks. It was crazy. It was bad. So, excuse me, on top of that happening, along with this, like Philadelphia is a hot zone right now.
Police sure have their hands full, and they don't have the resources to control mobs of aggressive activists who will stop at nothing to shut down what they believe is the ongoing fall of our once great and free country, which these protesters fail to realize will cease from being a country the moment it ceases to have a border or enforce its laws. But sadly for Philadelphia, which is one of the few sanctuary cities in states that voted for President Trump, these activists believe that not enforcing immigration law makes America stronger, and they think freedom and liberty are totally compatible with the tens of thousands charged by Mexican cartels for smuggling untold numbers of people across the US border, including gang members and terror watch list suspects. And that brings us to the real reason these tactical teams are on the way. Most of America is
So here's my question. Like, if they're sneaking in, I mean, the cameraman is right here. He's literally like holding the camera as these people are quote unquote sneaking in, if this is what this is supposed to be presuming. Or maybe these are just crisis actors. You're just trying to stir up emotion, which would be my first go-to thought. I would think these are just crisis actors. I wouldn't even think these are real immigrants. I would say these are crisis actors because the cameraman is right here, literally just like right here. And you see these people come through, but I just find it kind of weird that you got a cameraman catching this up close and personal.
And that brings us to the real reason these tactical teams are on the way. Most of America is cooperating to the real reason these tactical teams are.
See, were those? Is that a cop? It looked like a cop, but then again, it probably isn't. I don't know. Just me thinking.
On the way, most of America is cooperating with federal immigration enforcement, but a small handful of cities, they've made themselves the heart of a resistance movement that has just made them a magnet for criminals. And as we're once again seeing gangs retake apartment complexes in Colorado, while continuing their reign of human exploitation in cities like New York, the mere idea that no-go zones could exist in the US of A of all places is repulsive to most of us. And most of us aren't offended by the idea that our country has a border.
Police took several protesters into custody. Action News was out here in the area of 11th and Market when all of that was happening. In all, we're told 15 people were arrested, including one who was charged with aggravated assault on an officer.
So as you can see, Philadelphia is just a few steps removed from LA at this point. Luckily, the police here aren't having any of it, but sadly, neither are the protesters.
I think this is a very tense situation. I think there's a lot of anger and a lot of frustration in society, and I think that sooner or later, people are going to fight back. There's going to be movement, and I think, I think there's going to be a lot of big things coming. Yeah.
These protesters, their goal is to fight back, which is why tactical teams are on their way to cities just like this. And the stage is set. These mysteriously well-funded activists have promised to mimic their brethren in Los Angeles and stage uprisings and never give up, fighting for the rights of illegal immigrants who've snuck into.
I don't know, man. Sometimes this stuff looks too. It just looks too. I mean, sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes I think like some of this footage they do is staged. Because remember when you had Black Lives Matter, remember when they were throwing, whenever they have riots in the streets, and remember you magically had like pallets of bricks and stuff to throw? They were putting the bricks out there trying to antagonize people to do something and use the bricks, but people actually like used social media and wisened up and was like, no, they're putting this out here for us to use to throw. They're trying to get us to cause a riot and cause a situation. So when I look at stuff like this, it's like, I don't know anybody in Philadelphia personally. Do I know anybody? No, I don't know anybody in Philadelphia right now personally that could like vouch for this and actually say 100% if this is as bad as it seems. Because there were situations that happened in Austin that they had put on the news and it looked really, really bad. But in reality, living here, seeing, like living here, it wasn't what it was like all blown up to be compared to what the news says. So you just have to take it with a grain of salt.
And never give up, fighting for the rights of illegal.
Why she got this kid right here, bruh? Why you got the kid? And look, when you look at the crowd, like look at this. When you look at the crowd of people and the cameraman, and like the way it looks, man, and to me, this footage, this looked like some crisis actors. This looks like crisis actors to me. This is just me. I could be right. I could be wrong. This looks like a bunch of crisis actors just posted up, got a shot at a good angle, got the police on the other side. It just doesn't look real.
Illegal immigrants who've snuck into our country with the help of criminal gangs and cartels, helping them make billions off the backs of the law-abiding in this country. But as you're about to see, these tactical teams, they are more than prepared to deal with any protesters.
Navan is a business travel booking platform that's.
Now, I wonder where the tactical teams come from. I need to get YouTube Premium. I got to stop doing this. I wonder what kind of tactical team that they're dealing with. I mean, I would assume military, but it clearly is not going to be the military tactical team. So I wonder, is it ICE tactical team or what? I don't know. We're going to see, but we're about to find out here in a minute, see how tactical it's going to get. And I think I know who this guy is. I think this is the immigration guy that Trump had hired, who is like no BS when it comes to immigrants. If this is the same guy, I could be wrong.
Where people think it's okay to threaten the life and safety of federal law enforcement officer and their families.
So
that's him. That's him.
Let's break this down. The move would mobilize special response teams, which are tactical units under ICE, to Chicago, Seattle, Philadelphia, the D.C. area, and New York. These teams come armed with Bearcat vehicles, essentially Humvees, which are essentially armored transports, long guns, and tactical vests. Now, they were most recently used in L.A. as those protests were beginning. Today, the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights spoke to me about their concerns of having these crews in town. Partially, they feel it only furthers and helps to escalate tensions and potentially lead to what we've been seeing in LA.
So you have to have this militarized, well-armed force if you want to protect officers who are going into an area where these protesters think it's their right to put their hands on police.
Hey, my boy is fully caffeinated. Look at him. He got his coffee lined up over here. Buddy is fully caffeinated. I see you. I see you.
And shake them up to try and get their message across. That's ridiculous. And if law enforcement has a job to do, they're going to do it, and they sure can't let lawlessness stop them. Because if that happens, places like Philadelphia will just attract more and more criminals and will turn into complete no-go zones. Think about that. These sanctuary cities, if you're a criminal in America with an immigration violation, these are your best chance at staying here for as long as possible. The local population, they're sympathetic towards your plight because they don't understand what it does to our country. They also don't care if you're a gang member hiding in plain sight or that you're here illegally, because to them, that just makes you a victim of the worst country ever, America.
Immigration status. Just take a look right behind me at this crowd. It's been growing for the last couple hours. We're right outside of the detention center.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Victim of the worst country ever, America.
Immigration.
What do we have here? Hey, what is going on? Hold on. I mean, can we slow this down for a second? Hold on, y'all. Give me a moment if you don't mind. Let me see. 0.15. Let's hit play. Let's see what happens. Here we go.
Just take a look.
Nope, that's too fast. Let's slow it down. I have to do this real quick. Let's go ahead and slow that down.
Right.
Okay, there we go. Let's try this one more time. Let's put her on mute. Let's get a good look at this specimen we have right here. All right, what do we got going on here? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there's my moment. All righty, guys. Let's get back to the show. Sorry about that. Here we go. Sorry.
Detention center here in Philadelphia. Now, things have been feeling intense for the immigrant community in our city, especially in South Philly today. Now, take a look at this video that was shared on a public Facebook page and made its rounds on social media. It shows a man being arrested by agents wearing DEA vests. This was reportedly happened on 7th and Cider this morning around 7 a.m. The DEA said that this was an assisted arrest with the ERO. That is the Enforcement Removal Operations, which is a subsection of ICE. We have spoken with a DA representative, and we're still working on confirming the identity of that man and whether he had a warrant out for his arrest. Neighbors say this activity has left their community on edge.
So everyone protesting at this ICE facility, they really believe that multiple federal agencies are combining forces to arrest one specific person who may not have done anything wrong. They really think
that is a waste of resources. I mean, if it's you got the DEA out there taking somebody, apprehending somebody, and it's just one dude, and you don't know what he did. Find out dude got a doobie in his pocket.
ICE and the DEA are out there picking people up off the streets for no reason. But ask yourself, why on earth is something like this happening? Was this really just a random arrest of somebody that just so happened to be here illegally? Or were they going after one of the people listed on the ICE website who are very dangerous, very bad, and have criminal records so long in her?
See, that's why I say some of this could be crisis actors, and they're just putting together this little story to give us to kind of build this boiling pot of what's going on. Because you got nature taking this toll over here in Texas. Then in Japan there's a tsunami that's hit. Is it a tsunami or an earthquake in Japan? Something like that. You got that happening in Japan. You got California going through its thing. You got the gang members in Colorado taking over apartment buildings. You got stuff happening in New York. So it's like everywhere you look, everywhere you turn, there's something happening. You know what I mean? So it's like what's true and what's not, you really don't know unless you know people that are there. And you kind of have to look at it and, take it either as factual or just take it with a grain of salt, because One day I'm gonna have to look up crisis actors with you so you can see what I mean when I say crisis actors. And if you want to know, just type in crisis actors and look it up for yourself and see what I mean.
Horrendous. Even being around these people is a risk for you and your family. And remember, as the rest of America cooperates and helps federal law.
And my thing is, why would you hide their face? That's what I don't get. Why are you hiding their face? It doesn't make any sense. Like right here, why are you hiding the police officer's face? You didn't hide his face. You hid his face. But then we go over to this thing right here.
People is a risk for you.
And, you know, you're hiding this dude's face. But it's like, why? What's the point of hiding their face if they're going to be putting in public information anyway? Because they're going to take a picture or a mugshot or something. And they're going to be public information for everybody to see. Why hide their face? So it's weird to me how this all looks. You know what I mean? It's just, he got on gloves. I don't know, man.
You and your family. And remember, as the rest of America cooperates and helps federal law enforcement do its job, these criminals, where are they gonna go? They're gonna hide out in places where they know they're protected.
I want them to focus on the cities, because the cities are where you really have what's called sanctuary cities, and that's where the people are. I look at New York, I look at Chicago. Biden allowed 21 million people to come into our country. People from gangs, people from jails. They emptied their jails out into the U.S. Most of those people are in the cities, all blue cities, all Democrat-run cities.
Right, so it's not a secret.
It's like an episode of Batman. Like, you got Gotham City just running rampant. Every time you turn around, there's just like action left and right. It's crazy. He came here like Harvey Dent up in the
secret.
Car insurance used to.
Trump in here playing the role of Harvey Dent, man. He in here is just causing havoc, cleaning the streets of all drug dealers and bad guys, and, you know, having clean streets of all illegals and all immigrants and all drug dealers, all bad guys. And then he's going after SNAP and what is it, Medicaid, and he's going in. It's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out, to be quite honest with you. At the end of the day, I mean, the man ain't even done what he on his 7th month, and all this stuff is going on. I mean, it's just fun to see so much action happen when a president gets in, because I've never in my life of being alive seen a president get in and I mean just cause so much action like immediately. Like, it's just been action after action every month. It's just been like action packed going on, you know what I mean? Usually it's like a year or two, people say a couple speeches. Nah, this fool got in, started putting pen to paper, and it's just been nonstop action. It's like the greatest movie you've ever seen, but it's real life. But here we go. Let's continue. Let's get this back going.
You're one of the bad guys. Go to a place where local laws will protect you. In sanctuary cities, if you get arrested for committing some crime as part of your gang, the local police, they won't even turn you over to ICE. And practices like these make America less safe, because these criminals, they don't just stay put, they export their crime, like the Tren de Aragua gang does to cities around New York and around Denver, Colorado. They're back in Aurora, taking over more apartments. And since Philadelphia is close to New York and also doesn't like to cooperate with ICE, it makes total sense for an increased level of law enforcement activity to start taking place here, and for tactical teams to be deployed. Otherwise, you're going to have criminals escaping from one sanctuary city and hiding in another. And in a way, the entire Northeast here.
But if you consider them criminals, why do you hide their face? I still don't get this. This still doesn't make sense to me. Why are their faces being hidden?
To start taking place here, and for tactical teams to be deployed.
Like, why does that? I don't understand that. Why everybody's face is being hidden? I don't get it. That's one thing I don't understand. If it's so much crime, why are you hiding the face? Because living here in America, one thing I know is that if you go to jail or if you're a criminal, your face is being posted everywhere. You ain't hiding your face. So, like, why do their faces get hidden? That's something I don't get.
Otherwise, you're going to have criminals escaping from one sanctuary city and hiding in another. And in a way, the entire Northeast here in America is a magnet for some of the worst criminals out there.
That deployment, the courts will sort that out, but don't have any illusions about this. I mean, the president can flood the zone with federal personnel. They may or may not be guardsmen, but there's a rather large federal government that enforces federal law. And you just had Democratic leaders, including one who said, look, the federal government just has to retreat from Los Angeles and other cities and peace can be restored.
If that happens, we're not a country anymore. If the country gives up on certain cities, those cities have won. That's a terrible idea, but that's what the activists want. They say, oh, if ICE would just leave us alone, none of this would be happening. You can't have cities across the country that make up their own laws and do.
I mean, if that happens, that's a perfect recipe for martial law to be put in. You know what I mean? Like, you're setting up a recipe for martial law. It's a good excuse to have armored trucks and tanks or whatever, you know, martial law brings in. This is a perfect storm to bring that in and implement it on the streets. This brewing and setting all this up, because if that happens, you know, like, back up and let the activists win, it's a good excuse to put the military on the streets. It's the perfect excuse. It's like setting it up just so perfectly. So now you look outside and it's like, just tanks and full out military gear and assault rifles and people, ready for war, but, on your regular city streets. So that's just my 2 cents.
Exactly what they want. And you can't have cities that help hide federal fugitives who commit crimes across the country. And here's how that works. The first time apartments in Colorado were taken over by gang members, one of these gang members, who was apparently the leader, fled and came to New York and was hiding out in an apartment for several months before getting caught. And that was several months ago. You've already got criminals who are smart enough to realize that they can bounce between sanctuary cities and evade law enforcement indefinitely.
You said he can do it. The president could go into these blue cities that called themselves sanctuary cities and took all these folks in. Eric Adams is mayor of one of those cities, New York, right here in New York City. And here he shares his thoughts on where Democrats stand on this issue. Listen.
The overwhelming number of Democrats in this city, they believe with me that 79% stated that if you commit a crime and you are undocumented after you serve your time, you should be deported. 79%. They believe in me in supporting our police. They believe in pro-business. They believe in not having a revolving door criminal justice system.
Get your claims.
Yeah. I mean, everybody can believe that all they want, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a perfect recipe for martial law. That's how I see it. And if martial law is implemented, I don't think the president got to leave presidency at that time. I don't believe so. If martial law is on the streets, I don't think the president. You know what? Let's go ahead and pull that up. Let's see if that's a true statement or not. Let's see. If martial law. Let's see. You know what? I'll run the video while I look that up. So let's go and pull this up and let's watch this, and I'll run that real quick just to double check. Here we go.
The president has support, at least in this city, for his efforts.
Well, what's interesting is that...
So the president's going to have support for this everywhere, because as the country watches these sanctuary cities implode on themselves with these rioters attacking everything and destroying everything in the name of protecting criminals who shouldn't even be here to begin with, those of us who know this is wrong are going to want it to stop. As most Americans don't want gang members or people actively breaking our laws living amongst them. And these people really believe that when a man is arrested by multiple federal agencies at once, he's done nothing. Nope.
Okay, so here we go. So I found it right here. Says under martial law, while the president can declare martial law, it doesn't mean they lose their position. The president remains in office, but their authority in the area under martial law might be delegated to a military commander. So there's that. So what I'm looking at, it seems like a perfect recipe to extend presidency for a longer period of time, especially if this commotion and all this stuff keeps happening and going on. It's just like, hey, let's just let it happen. We'll make money on the back end. continue the tariffs and the economic warfares and all this stuff like that. And then when the time comes, you know, we'll just declare martial law. We can just ride this bad boy out. That's just me. I mean, it could be right, could be wrong, but, you know, there's that.
He was wrongfully persecuted. This is just getting ridiculous at this point.
Frankly, are paying taxes and they're law-abiding, and they...
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and end this little piece right here. Shout out to them for that video. We're going to move on to the next video, but shout out to Cash Jordan for that video. So yeah, just to see how everything goes. I mean, you know, you never know how things will pan out, man. It may happen that way, it may not. I mean, I think it could. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, if I was running a corporation, I was president, I mean, that would sound like the power play. You know what I mean? That sound like the power play I would do. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on over to the last the last video of this segment. We're gonna look at Trump. He's enforcing birthright. He is beginning enforcing birthright citizenship order as early as this month, the DOJ says. So let's check this out. But before we do, let me go ahead and refresh the screen. But it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes, because if he's enforcing birthright citizenship as early as this month, man, that's gonna increase the ICE and the deportations. But with that being said, let's see how this actually pans out. Fair use to Fox News, even though Trump don't like Fox News. Fair use, and let's see what they got to say.
Retired ICE agent Victor Avila. Victor, it's great to see you again. So I think I have the pattern. I think I've figured it out. Trump is United States president. AOC, dressed in all white, is crying outside of a Border Patrol facility.
I remember that.
Joe Biden is president. No problem. Separate minors from their parents. President Trump is in office again, and we got to worry about the real concentration camps being built in Florida. But Joe Biden is president, and you have prisons in 110-degree heat in Arizona.
I was down there in Eagle Pass just 18, 20 months ago, seeing 9,000, 12,000 a day in one location, Will. This is dramatic. This is what we needed. We needed dramatic action versus dramatic consequences of the open border Biden regime that happened. And let's not forget, the left is always blaming everybody else, but they never think about someone. They'll blame the alligators, they'll save the alligators, they'll save everyone except the victims of crime and Americans. They never put them first. Never forget about even the migrants themselves, the illegals that drowned. I saw floating bodies in the river. The rapes, the stuff that Tom talks about, I saw that in my career as well. We never think about them. We're also saving lives while we're securing that border.
That's a great point. We're not just talking about a drop in attempts to cross the southern border, but we've even seen reports over at Fox News Digital of Mexican border towns saying the drug trade impact on their town on the southern side in Mexico is better since we've seen Donald Trump in office as president. One thing that's not better right now, though, is attacks on ICE agents. Victor, we've seen, and we have the stats to back this up, some incredible stats. In January 2024, there were 10 attacks over a 6-month period going from January to June of 2024, 10 attacks on ICE agents. This year, over that same period of time, it's up to 79 attacks on ICE agents. That's almost a 700% increase.
I mean, that sounds like a recipe to bring the military in. That sounds like a martial law scenario. If it just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing, at some point you got to bring out the big guns. That's all I'm understanding. That's what I think is it's gonna come to at some point. I mean, it makes sense. Not that I'm saying I'm for it, but it makes sense as to set up, you know, the recipe for disaster kind of scenario. You know what I mean? Because then who profits on the back end when all of this chaos is happening? That's really what you need to be paying attention to. Look at who profits on the back end when all this commotion happens. When the Strong Flu 19 kicked off, who profited on the back end when that happened? So now we got this scenario happening, and it looks like we could be headed into martial law. I'm guessing, and if it does, who profits on the back end of that?
We cannot continue this way. This is intolerable. This is something that any police officer has to go through this, any law enforcement officer, but because somehow you're enforcing immigration law you're looking at these stats. It is something that they have to face a consequence for attacking an ICE agent and going after them, doxing them, identifying them. This is dangerous. He said, I'm a victim at the hands of the cartel. I know what that's like. I know what it is to go through that. I don't want another agent to go through that. This has to be stopped. And the only way you do it is by holding those accountable that continue to do this. Whether it's a rock, Will, it could be a rock. People think that it has to be a shooting. It doesn't have to be. There's many, many forms of assaults.
Including, as you pointed out a moment ago, doxing and putting an agent's family and private life at risk. Explains why we see so many agents covering their face as they're executing their job here at home in the United States. Victor, it's always great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Click here.
All right, so then there we have it. So we have all these different recipes for disaster happening all at one time. We got the wet. Oh, there it goes. We got the weather. What is the thing that I had up? I had something up. There it is. I had that up. That's what I took down. But we got the weather. We got, the ICE and deportation and the immigrants. Then we got the groceries and rent and then job loss and AI. Like everything is hitting at once. And then on top of that, they're trying to take away SNAP and Medicaid. And then, the left is fighting the right side. And, then the male is fighting the female and the female is fighting back against the male. And then, you know what I mean? It's just a huge-ish show. You know what I mean? That's just all it is. Just nothing but just chaos all around. So just looking at how this will pan out and my opinion, the perfect storm or settlement out of all this would be, it could be, set up martial law on the streets. If you can't get a grip on the ICE situation, if ICE keeps getting attacked, then you got to bring out the big guns. And then you have a job crisis happening at the same time. So with that happening, AI is going to come in and sit everybody at home and AI is going to do the jobs for them. So, it just keeps like turning everything into a prison, but yet people keep fighting and not paying attention at everything that's happening and looking at the corner that you're being backed into. That's what I'm getting out of all of this. It's like you're being backed into a corner, but can you see it past all of your arguing and debating and fighting? Can you not see the picture, the corner that you're being backed into? Because your rent's going up, your groceries going up, ICE is fighting, immigrants are fighting ICE, men and women can't get along, no families, and jobs are being lost, AI is being implemented, taking over. It's just like, good Lord, like what is going on? But with that being said, we're going to segue over into the last segment of the show, which is going to be AI. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the AI portion of the show. With that being said, I forgot to play my thing on the other one, but we'll go ahead and play it on this one. Where's my thing at? I can't find it. There we go.
Welcome to the AI segment of the show. Enjoy.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive in here to this one. Where is it at? And pull this up. We're going to look at AI portion of the show, and this is going to show how AI generated influencers are making millions and millions of dollars hand over fist. So if AI influencers are making millions hand over fist, then now you don't have real influencers anymore. And now you got AI being the influencers, and for your ads and your commercials and for all of your messages and all the stuff that you need. Because now if you see ads, I saw a monkey, I think the monkey was given like an insurance ad today, if I wasn't mistaken, or some kind of car ad or something like that. Like you see more and more of like AI type of random things delivering messages for ads. And it's just like the weirdest thing that you see, but it's happening. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this video. We're going to take a look at this. Very used to CNBC on this video. Let's change that banner down here real quick. And we're going to look at how AI influencers are earning millions via AI influencers. Here we go.
Nice to meet you, Zach.
This is Blue, an AI-generated YouTuber with millions of fans and a
once I figure this out, I will be hopping on board.
Growing media empire.
I'm a virtual influencer with a big and fun personality. I'm all about good vibes and engaging content. and I'm built by humans but boosted by AI, and here to keep my millions of viewers worldwide entertained and keeping on coming back for more.
Since launching, Blue has pulled in over 700 million views. And Blue's creator says he's earned more than $1 million through YouTube ads and sponsorships. But Blue is just one example. From creators uploading dozens of AI-generated videos a day, to virtual characters made in seconds with tools like Hydra's Character 3. AI content is accelerating, and so is the business behind it.
I think it's just a growing market, right? I think what we're seeing is not that people that were content creators shifting to being virtual content creators. I think what we're seeing is instead that people that didn't feel like they could create content before because they didn't want to be in front of camera, or they didn't have, a really nice podcast capturing setup, are now able in a couple seconds to just go to our website and create an image, upload an image, and immediately bring something to life.
VTubers first gained traction in Japan, but they're now expanding fast in the US, where audiences are forming real emotional bonds with virtual creators. But as content spreads, it's raising new questions about authenticity, automation, and what happens when audiences can't tell the difference. So how far can this go? And is the next generation of YouTube stars even human?
Yeah, once I sit down and figure this out, I'll be doing some of this for sure. And it's really not that hard to figure out. It really isn't. This stuff ain't hard to do. And once you do it, and once you kind of figure out the format and the layout, just like anything else, it'll move like clockwork. And you're already seeing it every time you look up. You're seeing it everywhere. So yeah, it's out there.
Blue was created by Jordy Vandebush, better known as Kwebbelkop, a longtime YouTuber with over 15 million subscribers.
The flaw in this equation is the human, so we need to somehow remove the human out of the channel.
But after nearly 10 years on YouTube, Vandebush was burned out, so he replaced himself with an AI, Blue.
I would say a natural evolution in my own YouTube career. So it started about 12, 13 years ago. I started creating content myself. And 8 years down the line, I realized, okay, well, what if I want to stop? Can I then continue the business? And unfortunately, the answer is no. If you make a brand that revolves around you, I have not seen a single influencer who is able to replace themselves successfully.
Today, Blue is still voiced and puppeteered by a real voice actor.
I wonder if he could automate it. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if you can take this thing and then have an AI agent just completely automate your whole YouTube channel, and you literally just step away. And I mean, that would be the dream goal, especially understanding how the world is now, where retiring does not seem like a thing that's going to happen for anyone.
But everything else, from scripting to dubbing to social media, is handled by AI.
I have the freedom to be on top of my game whenever, and I can be on top of my game every day, every video, and make sure that each video is to the quality I want it to be.
When AI can do it better or faster or cheaper than humans, that's when we'll start using it permanently.
For now, he calls it a hybrid model. The AI takes care of the scale and the human brings the soul.
My viewers can keep on coming back, and the viewers are always happy because the content's at the level I want it to be.
Vandebush isn't alone. A growing number of startups are racing to support this new generation of AI-enhanced creators. The global generative AI market, which includes tools for video, voice, and content creation, is expected to pass $1 trillion by 2034, according to Precedence Research. One of them is Hydra, the company behind Character 3.
We're really excited to be launching a new model that will allow users to interact with the characters in real time. And we think this has massive implications, from everything from net new learning experiences.
$1 trillion by 2034.
Oh my God! Wow!
Yeah, I'm on the right path. I just got to keep grinding. And once I figure out how to automate this, boy, oh boy, y'all going to see AI Danny up in this joint. It's going to be AI Danny doing the home workout videos at home. Yes, sir. Ain't going to be me, though. Ain't going to be me.
Is to create the next generation of customer support, to fundamentally changing how we interact with AI agents.
Character 3 lets creators animate faces, add voice, and customize personality, all with minimal effort. It's already powering content from virtual artists like Mila Sofia and comedy projects like the Talking Baby podcast.
And here's the thing. When you get to the point where the content is being automated by AI, do you want to be the creator or the consumer? That's where we're headed. Do you want to be the creator or the consumer? So you better get on the creator side quickly, because the consumer side is just going to be stuck and trapped in this ever-ending cycle of consuming something that the creator is just going to be making money hand over fist on.
On today's episode, we'll be talking to the weird-looking person who lives at my house.
We've seen people create entire online identities around Hydra. This ranges from people creating like podcasters that talk about current events to people creating whole virtual influencers, where those influencers have their own personality that might actually be decoupled from the creator. So we think it's really exciting because it's a new way for people to express themselves. Not everyone wants to get on camera, but a lot of people have a story to tell. And we think tools like Hydra and Character 3 allow people to create really interesting personalities and increase the diversity of content that you're going to see online.
Hydra isn't the only company. Google's VO3 and OpenAI's Sora are a few examples of other AI startups offering video generation services as well. But you don't need a cartoon character to go viral. Some creators are running fully automated YouTube channels and are scaling at an unbelievable rate.
My job is pretty much just do the ideation part, obviously render and upload, but like the rendering part is automated.
They're using AI for everything, writing scripts, generating visuals, and dubbing narration. One creator I spoke to is running 30 YouTube channels and is uploading as many as 80 videos a day. He says coming up with the right idea is still the hardest part, but everything after that, AI takes care of it.
I think I'm more creative than ever because basically like the creativity, you need the level of creativity you need to have to actually be able to ideate content, because we're talking that, okay, it's not just like, yeah, this title is good. I actually try to make sure like every single title, obviously I know it's not possible, but you know, like imagine every single day like ideating or creating yourself like ideas for 60 to 80 videos that you want them to go viral.
It's a new...
See, so he's fighting for the possibility to no longer have to really think about creating anymore. He's like, if I can set my creating and ideas on autopilot and let the AI do it for me and just keep pumping out content to the consumer, I can literally live a life of leisure and no longer think about anything, because now I don't have to think about making money anymore because the content is AI'd and is generated automatically on autopilot. And that's the golden ticket.
Model for content creation, one built for scale, speed, and search algorithms.
Yeah, that's going to be the golden ticket for sure. You don't have to think anymore. You just literally, because you've already put in the groundwork from the beginning. So now the AI has kind of figured out how you work, and it's like, okay, cool, don't worry about it. I'll pump the content out for you. I'll do this for you. I'll do this for you. I know how you get down. I know how you move. I know how you are. So when the presence that you already put on social media, it'll just speed up the process and regurgitate it and keep putting it out more and more and more and more, and you don't even got to be there, and people won't even be able to tell the difference at some point. And really, to be quite honest, they won't even care. They won't, and they'll just be consumed, stuck in just this world of just staring at a computer screen, just like in it, just consuming, just like straight zombied out, consuming nonstop. It's all they're doing is consuming your content that you created. So what side do you want to be on? You're gonna be in the consumer side or the creator side, and that's where we're at. We're at that inflection point, and it's brutal. It's brutal how serious what side you need to figure out that you want to be on. But let's continue. We got a couple more minutes, then we'll be done with the show.
I agree with Jordy and what he's talked about a little bit earlier, and I think this is only the beginning.
As AI-generated videos spread, so do concerns about what they're doing to content. Some critics even call it AI slop, a wave of low-quality, repetitive videos optimized for clicks, not meaning. On TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, it's getting harder to tell what's real and what's not.
You can pick up a camera and you can take a really uninteresting photo of a white wall. You can take a photo of paint drying, and people just won't get that surface, right? The algorithm won't show engagement. And I think all AI tools is it's just made it easier to make something that's a little bit more diverse than just taking a picture of nothing. And that is kind of the origin of a lot of this slop. But content ranking algorithms are going to deprioritize that over time, and they're going to surface what's creating engagement with people. And I do think over time, people do get inundated with, just things that are exciting for the sake of exciting.
If you look at this right here, this laptop, this cup, this leaf, this whole setup could be an AI setup, and they just threw his picture or his face on here. Oh, this could actually be an AI setup within itself. You never know. So just think about that and take that into consideration. If it's not an AI setup, he might be real, but everything else we're looking at around it could be fake.
You get inundated with, just things that are exciting for the sake of exciting.
The tools are improving fast, but many say they still lack the human intuition that makes content truly resonate. Even Vandenbush, who built one of the most successful AI personalities online, says full automation isn't ready.
We're just trying to find the sweet spot constantly. Compared to humans, humans have this intuition and good understanding of the world, or maybe you have this certain data set that this AI system just doesn't have, right?
That gap is what keeps creators like Vandenbush involved for now. But experts say the bigger risk isn't that content is bad, it's that it's convincing. Because if synthetic content looks real, sounds real, and performs well, who's watching that?
We sort of now live in an environment where anything could be AI, and therefore we need a way to try and get to a point where we can definitively figure out, well, is it or not?
Adger calls it the liar's dividend, a world where doubt spreads faster than truth.
I feel we are moving into a time where you do not have a right and you do not have a way necessarily to understand what is human-made and what is not, what is a human voice or a synthetic one.
And nowhere is that confusion more volatile than social media.
Social media is the perfect storm. It's kind of a cauldron of all of the kind of ingredients that can make AI-generated content as disruptive as possible, really.
While AI transforms the way content is created, meaning, connection, and voice still come from people, at least for now. But as the tools improve and audiences evolve, the line between creator and code is only getting blurrier.
I think what's going to happen is it's a generational thing. I think that the generation who's not going to care about this is probably maybe Gen Alpha. So if you have kids, I think Gen Alpha is going to be the one that's not going to care too much about if they're about what they're consuming, if it's AI, if it's real, and they might not even be able to tell. Because I know as far as the music goes, if you're already creating AI music like I am, your kid doesn't understand the concept of what it takes to make a song. You know what I mean? Like from a guitar player to a bass player to a singer to a drummer. These kids don't really understand that concept of putting all that together, engineer, mix, master, Pro Tools or Logic or whatever you use. If you can just throw in a prompt and make the song, then bam, you did it. It's AI. That's how it goes. But in reality, if you've made music before, you understand the art that comes with it, but kids don't get that. So if that's what they grew up on, that's what they see, it won't matter where the content came from. AI or human won't care what the difference is. Even if there is a difference and they know it, it won't matter. But that's going to be it for today's show, man. Thank y'all so much. My throat is still killing me, but we got to get up out of here. Did a late show today, man. Hopefully you stayed awake. If not, get some sleep. Get ready for the day tomorrow. We're halfway through the week. But I will catch y'all tomorrow. We'll be here for the next show tomorrow. I'll be able to do an earlier show during the daytime, so I won't have to do one late in the evening. But y'all have a good one. Take care. I'm out here. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Big R, baby, I'm house of me. Pockets chunky like cottage cheese. Real nigga, I just gotta be. Smoking weed that don't gotta see. Used to be a hustler prodigy. I love when people say they proud of me. I'm eating good, smoking broccoli. Taking over blocks like Monopoly. Only fuck the ones, that's my policy. Most of these hoes tryna cause a scene. Like niggas mad they not on the team. See, I got bread, then bought a dream. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on like, and I got the keys like Jay. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay. Don't wait no nigga and off the top. In the booth, playing basketball, counting cash and smoking green. Can be blowing cloud like a smoke machine. The bitch on my dick, she got notes to sing. Bumblebee ass, yeah, I know it's thing. I plug your bitch like a 6-string. Jordan with the bitches got 6 rings. Smoke till my bitch a split screen. The press with pain pills and sipping lean. Riding dirty, but I'm extra clean. Lyrics nice, but I'm extra mean. All-star, heavyweight like Wolverine. The bitch learns like she Wolverine. I flip money like Clover G. Gang hustle like TIP. Hard baby like DIG. Acronym like KRT. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wait no nigga and off the set. In the booth, playing beats. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. Don't wait no nigga and off the set. In the booth, playing beats. In the beats like RP. No hard shit with your artery. Cutting up, who sharp as me? Rolling up accordingly. Pulling hoes, no sorcery. Rapping like y'all forcing me. If I ever write it, then it's forgery. Nigga selling to the rock like a Flores beat. Lyrical monster on the Lord of Beats. Text nigga, my bitch Georgia Peach. Pimp tight nigga, I do more than cheat. Cold like D-Wade, I ignore the heat. Bitch, I'm on way, hit the short for reach. Money jumping like a nigga on the sneeze. Come to Patty James, get me on the beat. Bitch, I'm always winning like what's the feed? The game on lock, and I got the keys like Jay-Z. My fame won't stop, but the only thing I'm chasing. The game